We're talking Tua Tagovailoa and a little Teron Armstead today. Let's jump into this. What is up, Finn fans? Teron Armstead was on the Rich Eisen show. So we're going to kind of listen to some of the things that he talked about with Rich Eisen. Plus, Tua Tagovailoa was at his luau yesterday, and he had a few things to talk about as well when it comes to his offseason training contract talks and the charity event at the luau. But before we jump into that, no, I don't have a sponsorship to talk to you guys about, but I do have a podcast to talk to you guys about. Me and Stephen D, if you don't know who Stephen D is, Miami sports music and all that good stuff. Me and him have been quietly working on something, and it's called Me, Myself, and This Guy. And it's on the Dolphins Talk YouTube channel. I will link the video in the description. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. It's a long one. We try to keep it between half hour and an hour, but me and him will love to talk about nonsense, and it ends up being about an hour to an hour and a half. But go over, check it out. Let me know what you think, what we could do better, what we could do worse, all that good stuff. And let's talk a little Tua, a little Teron Armstead, some Miami Dolphins football. And I keep talking about how the next day is going to be the pass rusher prospects. That is going to happen tomorrow. I have a lot to do in such a little amount of time because the offseason programs start on Monday the 15th for returning head coaches. And then we literally have about 8 days until the draft starts. And I still have to do mock drafts with trades, reacting to mock drafts. I still have to give you prospects on interior defensive linemen, linebackers, and safeties. So I got a lot to do in a short period of time. I do this to myself every year, but what are you going to do? So we'll go into Tua Tagovailoa first. So Dolphins, the title of the article is Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa offers updates. So while he at the luau, David Foran is late, and I'm losing my mind. I'm David. We follow each other on Twitter. Very good gentleman. I'm sorry that I can't pronounce your last name right now. My mouth is not working. He says Tua has begun working with passing coach and former Dolphins quarterback John Beck and his organization 3D QB based in Southern California. The specifics of it, Tua is keeping tight to the chest. For now, that's all internal, Tua said Thursday before his third annual Luau with Tua charity event at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. I stayed there, fun fact, when I went down for the Giants game. I want to keep that between me and John, but yes, everyone, I have a quarterback coach. I'm working with John Beck. Side note, some people are genuinely bothered that Tua took 4 years to get himself a quarterback's coach. I don't understand why people get so bothered by such nonsensical things. Lamar Jackson worked with the same guys in Tom House and 3D QB. You know how long it took him to get to them? 4 years. Drew Brees, it wasn't until after he hurt his shoulder and he got done rehabbing, he went to 3D QB. Tom Brady, it took about 8 years for him to go there. So who cares how long it took as long as he's there? Social media video of apparent tweaked throwing mechanics indicates he's incorporating more of a hip twitch in his motion. This could bode well for producing more power for lower body on his throws and remain consistent with the motion when facing pressure. There's very specific things Tua said. Am I going to share? Probably not. Good. Keep it to yourself. Also, stop posting videos. Let us all just be surprised because people apparently hate it. Also appearing slimmer from when we last seen him in Kansas City for the Dolphins playoff elimination in January. Tua opted not to delve into details on strength and conditioning training, which took place in large part in South Florida-based trainer Nick Hicks. I've had many goals. I've hit a couple of them, but outside of that, there are little goals that lead up to bigger goals that I have. Tua listed him. The team lists Tua at 227 on the online roster in numbers that haven't been updated since the end of the season. The left-handed quarterback enters the fifth-year option season on his rookie contract in 2024, and both he and the Dolphins brass have indicated that they want to lock long-term contract this offseason. Tua is letting all the contract talk play out. Just letting my agent deal with that and talk to the team about that. Tua said, for me, my focus is when OTAs come to go to OTA, show up, and be the best teammate I can. Tua held his luau Thursday night in Hollywood after the Tua Foundation also put the charity golf event and youth football camp in Hawaii last week. Tua cited a Samoan saying that translated to the path to leadership is through service. He added, I love to give. I don't look at any of that as time consuming. That is time well spent. The Tua Foundation's mission statement says it is a nonprofit organization dedicated to support of young youth initiatives, health and wellness, and other charitable causes. Tua wants to impact the next generation through youth athletics, foster care, and after-school activities. He focuses on giving back to the 3 places he's lived: Hawaii, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and South Florida. The luau featured an array of Polynesian, Samoan, and Hawaiian themes. Dolphin great Dan Marino, Jason Taylor among those that attending. Marino highlighted the fellow Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly of rival Buffalo Bills, but also a Miami Hurricane showed up. It's so cool that Jim Kelly was there. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel, Frank Smith, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, and quarterbacks coach Darrell Bevel were among those present. So, again, I'm happy he's working with QB 3D. I'm happy he's getting... A lot of people are looking at it and saying, oh my gosh, he's losing weight, he's going to get hurt. And if you notice, last offseason, he was the least hit quarterback, but he had the least amount of time to throw. It's because it wasn't about him bulking up that caused him to play the full season. It was about him being smart with the football, getting the ball out quick, pocket presence, all these other things, and also learning how to fall and not bang his head on the ground. So I'm really liking what I'm hearing from Tua, but he needs to show up big this year because year 5, there's only so many times that we could sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, if this panned out this way, and everyone's getting tired of it. So we need him to come and do his thing. Now we're going to listen to what Teron Armstead said about Tua on the Rich Eisen show. I'm debating whether I want to show it just because I don't want to get copyright claimed. So you know what? I'm not going to show it, but we're going to listen to it. So here we go.
In all, I love Tua, man. I love that guy.
Me too.
I got to meet him for the first time, like truly up close, and spend more than just a 10-minute interview with him when we were chit-chatting before the game against the Chiefs in Germany.
Yeah.
And in the broadcast meeting, and just getting to see who he is and get underneath the hood and listen to him and hear him talk and just be passionate and just be himself. It was awesome. It really was to meet him like that. What's he like with you guys? With you?
He's impressive. He's impressive. I got there a couple years ago, and he was 23, maybe 24. But just speaking to him, how detailed he is, his knowledge of the game. He's very cerebral. He sees the field in its totality. He's able to put people where they need to be. And first year learning the offense that Mike McDaniel brought down in South Florida, he was just able to retain and put everyone where they need to be so fast. He's impressive.
So
I remember when he got such a pushback for not knowing the playbook fully on a COVID year, the same year that Tom Brady said the same thing. And if you remember, I think it was the Cowboys game in Hard Knocks where he kind of pulled Teron Armstead aside. It was like, you need to do you, man. You like, I don't remember specifically what he said, but in a nutshell, like, you got to play your game, because he was getting drilled by Mekhi Parsons a lot. So he was like, I remember him pulling him aside being like, I trust you and you need to do your thing. So he's grown. He's grown a lot in the aspect of being a team leader.
What have you enjoyed about the Mike McDaniel era so far, Teron?
It's a blast playing football. It's fun. It's fun playing this game. We're grown men playing a kid's sport, you know, but it's serious. There's a lot of seriousness that goes into it. It's a lot of mental and emotional tolls, you know, aside from all the things that's physical. So
Yeah.
it can be a weight. Just going through the grind of meetings and the seriousness of game day. So to have a coach like Mike is refreshing, is rejuvenating, energetic, and he creates an environment that is you look forward to going to work.
Well, I mean, when I spoke with him as well in the same broadcast meeting, and again, I think you were hurt, right, for that Germany game?
No, I came back.
You came back for it. That's right. Okay.
Again.
So, he
And it sucks too because like I'm a fan of Terron Armstead's, not only just because he followed me back on Twitter, but because he's a good guy and he's a good left tackle. He just has the worst luck when it comes to these injuries that he's dealing with. Because when he's on the field, he helps this team so much. And you hear like how he's talking about McDaniel and Tua and stuff. He's a team player, but it's just he has the worst luck when it comes to injuries.
spoke about his relationship with Tua and about what he feels his role as a coach is for everyone on the team, and how he takes it as a responsibility as a coach to bring out the best in anyone, and also to make sure that they grow as a human. And I was moved about it. And he was talking about being an only child, and how his upbringing made him ready to sort of focus on the individual.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away.
For sure. For sure.
But I'm just wondering, when he first walks in the door, I mean, how long was it until you were buying what he was selling? And
That's
I know that that's a
interesting.
phrase that makes it sound like he's selling something,
Right.
But that's just the phrase, obviously, about a coach trying to deliver what he feels is his mantra. How long did it take to pick up on that, do you think?
Honestly, not long, because you can instantly see it's coming from a genuine place. It's true, it's organic. So, and I love the fact that that's Mike's approach, because it's not necessarily his job description to develop and to as men outside of football.
Yes.
And to build these relationships. It's not his job to build off the field relationships and lifelong friendships with his guys, his teammates, his peers, his coaches, and his players. You know, it's not necessarily in his job description. His job is to win games, call the offense, win games. But he takes it personal, and the media sees Mike alive for his jokes and his always calm and in control demeanor in interviews. He's an emotional guy. Mike cries a lot.
What do you mean?
He's very passionate. Like you said, the word passionate. He's very passionate about, and he takes things very serious. So
Sure.
if we're coming off a loss and he felt like he didn't call the game well and didn't put us in the best position, he really wears that. And it's just you want to play for a guy like that. You know what I mean? He's accountable. He's trustworthy. So he'll put full losses on himself when that's never the case in football. It's a collective game. Everybody.
I gotta pause there and give some people a look on that, because everyone likes to put wins and losses on one specific player. That's interesting. Like I honestly, like, you could see it in post game, and you could see it especially during Hard Knocks when he would take some of these losses really hard, even especially that playoff loss. But I didn't think he cried. But also, I thought it would have took a lot longer. Now, I don't know if Terron Armstead's being nice, but I thought it would have took a lot longer to buy in on what maybe the defensive guys, it took a little bit longer to buy in because the offense kind of got off to a hot start. But I thought it would have took a little longer to buy into what he was trying to sell, which is the hardest thing for new head coaches. Because if you don't have like a pedigree and you don't have like a history of being a good head coach, these guys are like, who the heck is this guy?
I'm a crier. I am. You know what I mean? Like, but I've lost track of the number of times that I've teared up from this chair, that I get emotional, that I can't get through a sentence or whatever, and I don't mind it at all. I think that's a sign of strength, personally.
Right.
So, but when you hear a head coach cries a lot, that's
That's what I'm
why
saying.
I want to make
You don't
sure
really expect it.
that we're talking about in the same way, or people will pick up on it in the same way as what I just described.
It's in that sense,
I think that's
sure.
a strong suit in somebody.
Yeah.
So when he's just passionate with you guys after a game that doesn't go your way, he'll wear it on his sleeve like that. With
It can be in that sense where he's taking accountability, and he won't get too emotional with that. He stands in front of the room and he accepts that.
Yes.
He didn't call a good game, X, Y, and Z. But he can be talking a big first down. Raheem Mostert got a 3rd-and-1 conversion, and it just would bring up emotion for him. Like, he'll show the play, look at this block, look at the way Raheem, this 3rd down won us the game, and he'd get emotional.
Before we move on to other subject matters about you and your career as well, Teron Armstead here on the Rich Eisen Show, year 12 for this offensive tackle here on the program. We once had Andrew Hawkins on here before talking about McDaniel teaching him the proper footwork for being a receiver, and basically saying, you do this, you're going to get off every time. And then it would actually happen that way. I imagine the run scheme he's bringing might have caused you to have a learning curve yourself. Am I right on that? Fine?
Absolutely.
What was that like? What was that like for you?
And the craziest part is, to me, I feel like I didn't get it until last year. So my 2nd year in Miami under this scheme, because I played in New Orleans for 10 years, for 9 years under Sean Payton, and we put up a lot of points, one of the top 3 offenses almost every year. Different scheme, different brand of football, and so it was a lot of relearning, unlearning, and new teaching. So as I'm trying to work these new techniques, because I've been successful with the techniques that I used. Last year, our final stretch, maybe the last 7 games, it clicked for me. And everything that he preached, from sprinting off the football, speed, velocity, violence, don't worry about X, Y, and Z. Don't worry about the inside move. Don't worry. It clicked. And I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this year.
It looks like you're ready to play right now, actually.
I would line up right now.
That's why he came back. Right now. That's why he came out of retirement, is because at the end of the year it started clicking for him. And then I guess this offseason he probably started feeling his body actually healing properly, and he didn't end the season injured. And it's probably these things that stacked up for him.
Huh.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm excited.
Okay. So things clicked for you in a way. How do you respond to I guess the narrative, and McDaniel would call it that you guys who did you really beat last year? How do you respond to something like that?
Go win, go play the game. We can respond via X all we want. We can talk interviews all we want, but the game is played on the field. You know what I mean? So people say what the narrative is, we haven't won the big games. We haven't. So I wouldn't respond. Just let's go hit the field. Let's go do it.
And any similarities between Breeze and Tua?
Yeah.
What are they?
Their height. No, it's really funny. So I connected Tua and Drew kind of soon as I got there. Okay. And they talked for a while. But so Drew came down to training camp this year. And they spent some time together, and Tua run over to me. He like, yo, T-Stead, I'm taller than Drew. He was like so excited. Like, I'm taller than him. That was like forget everything else he talked about, reading defenses and all that anticipation. He was happy that he was taller than Drew.
Yeah.
But as far as similarities, the accuracy, the precision is scary to see. Drew is Hall of Fame, one of the best ever to touch a football, for sure. Tua's accuracy and his ability to manipulate and move defenders with his eyes, footwork, it's incredible. It's Drew Brees, and I know that's a tall comparison, but he stands up to it. He is an impressive thrower of the football. I saw him take steps of growth in his leadership and holding guys accountable. I saw him get on the great Tyreek Hill last year, which he never would have did the first year. So looking forward to this next one, him taking that another step in the management and piloting this franchise. I'm excited for him, and I'm do everything I can to keep him clean.
How Tyreek Taylor?
Just like I brought it up where I was talking about how during the Cowboys game you pulled him aside and it was on camera and everything. This season, like I've been saying and I said before, this season's very important, not only for Teron Armstead, for Tua, but for the Dolphins organization. You can't not make the playoffs. You can't not win a playoff game. It'll be 23 years in a row, like 24 years. Got to do it here. Got to do it this year. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. You could see the full interview with the Rich Eisen Show YouTube channel. Comment below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm working another Saturday for you guys. Love it. But like usual, stay classy. Offense up.